with me today is Rekhaa Tulse, founder and CEO of Vega Travel.
Thanks, Karl, for having me here on your show.
Well, Rekhaa, let's now get candid with Karl. Why did you choose the name Vega for your company?
So, Vega means brightest star in the Lyra constellation. It lies in the northern hemisphere. And in Hindi, it means Abhijit Nakshatra, which represents Lord Vishnu. And it represents power, victory, and it represents the divine blessings. And in Sanskrit, it also means Veg. So, I'm the biggest devotee of Lord Vishnu. So, it comes, and I like speed, So, it comes Vega Car. My name of the company is Vega.
Speed automatically makes you a fast girl.
Yeah.
But let's get now back in time to your origin. Where do you come from, and what can you tell us about your early childhood?
I have an army background. Basically, my father was an army, and the root comes from the army, So, army and my father's background not only means discipline, resilience, relocations, but those were not only the values, but those were the way of living life,
Right.
So the resilience, relocations, every time has groomed the way I am today. When it comes to army, my father used to get posting, relocation every 2 to 3 years.
Right.
Until the time I used to get comfortable, a person gets comfortable, and it takes, especially as a child, it takes 1 to 2 years to get comfortable with a new school, to make a new friends, to have comfortable with a new house, your own room, culture and climate. And by the time I was comfortable with it, my father got posted, and then I went to new place. And again, all those process came in picture again. But, it was not a setback of my life. I took it as a challenge and, opportunity. So I know, because of this, because of the change, I got the discipline in my life. I'm very patriotic because of my dad's roots. So it shaped my entire, routine, my career. It inculcated in all my habits,
Excellent, excellent. Because normally discomfort leads to comfort. But in your case, with the constant moving around, discomfort led to more discomfort.
Right.
But I think you said something very important, Rekhaa. You talked of resilience and discipline, which are the chief tenets of what an army background or army discipline inculcates into you. If I were to ask you, how or which place of all the places that you must have experienced, which place stands out?
I would say Jodhpur, because I completed my 9th and 10th from Jodhpur. It
Right.
was a KV Barnard school, and it was a small army cantonment board where my father was posted. So it was a small school, during the rainy seasons, the school used to shut down lit.
Wow. No school during rains, huh?
So, and it was the floor was not covered with
Right.
tiles, it was all sand all over. Yeah. But when
So you mean the floor would be...
exactly in the army school, in the KV school. So yeah, but then there were so many changes, and again, as I said, I learned so many things, got habitual to resilience, and I mean, every time I took it as an opportunity for my growth and for my learning.
Now, you got days off in school. Life doesn't give you any holiday. How did you transition from the education into your working life?
It was like I did a job initially for 12 years of my career.
And what line was this?
It was into sourcing and procurement domain. I was into sourcing and procurement domain into different modalities.
Right.
I worked in Infosys. I worked in Genpact. I worked in Cementech, and
Right.
everywhere it was like my domain was sourcing and procurement and entire supply chain.
Right.
And I was closely working with the higher management of the, not only of my institutions, but also of my clients, with the clients.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So since you're into sourcing, let's get into something funky and ask you, how did you source your to-be husband, Savan?
My husband. So, my husband is my best friend, my
Right.
soulmate, my confidant, my world, my everything, actually.
Yeah.
So,
For any wife watching, this is, I hope someday you guys can also say the same about your husband.
no, but it's serious. And, he would say much more than what I told you.
Right.
So, he will say 10 more things about me. I told only 4.
No, but how did you all meet?
Yeah, so I'm coming to that question. So it's like we were in college and
Right.
I was very introvert. My nature is I don't make friends so easily.
Right.
I'm very choosy about everything. Let it be my food, my clothing, my friends, my space, everything. So
I was even trying to choose the question to ask you.
So he was like,
You're
he
wrong.
mingles up with people very easily. He's totally opposite to me, basically. Once he enters in the room, he fills that with the energy.
Right.
So it happened, we went to a lunch, with all our friends, and he was a part of another group.
Right.
And I was with my friends, all girls were there
Right.
and boys were there. So we all were sitting, and I never liked him initially. And every time he used to tease me because I never spoke so easily with anyone. So we were sitting, and then but the food was ordered, and food was served on the table. So what girls, the habits of the girls, they started serving the food and starters in the plates of everyone. And
Right.
I was just sitting quietly. So he looked at those girls and he said, यार देखो कितने प्यार से ये लड़कियां सर्व कर रही है और इसे देखो. And then I gave him that stare. I was so angry. And
I'm sure you gave him enough of a mouthful that he didn't need any lunch.
so see, next what happened? There was a bowl of a chilies, next to the salad kept there. So I was very angry. I took one chili from there and I served in his plate and I said, प्यार से serve किया खा लो. And then he actually started having it.
Wow.
So it was first, then second, then third.
And what he tells people later is the first time I ever got attracted to Rekha, I had tears in my eyes.
So after having, 5 chilies, girls and everyone looked at me and they said, Rekha, stop it now. And he was actually having it.
Right.
And there was a blush on his face. And then when girls told me, my friends told me, Rekha, stop it now. Then I looked at him and it was like, don't dare to cross my path again.
Wonderful. But Rekha, I think the best relationships always start out with an amount of trepidation where you get attracted to maybe part of the person, but not the totality. And this kind of dissipates over time with the more, and that's what they talk about, as you get closer, as the bonds develop, the initial apprehensions start dissipating.
No, I don't agree on this. I totally disagree on this because my circle, both of our circles, from college or from our professional lives or from school lives, everyone, they say that, you are a lovebirds. At this stage, after, it's like 20 years we are married now.
Right.
But even now when they look at us, they say, you are lovebird, yaar. How you manage this, the kind of a love you have.
Correct.
But this is like, something, as I said, it's a, maybe there's a divine power or blessing there.
You should tell them my secret is I carry chilies in my purse all the time.
This would happen with everyone. It's only with Rekha and Savan.
So tell me, Rekha, after this stint with Infosys and the other corporates that you mentioned, did you and Savan then take a conscious decision to start out on your own in business?
Yeah, when you start something, after a few years, there is something, it says that no, now you need to give a full stop to this and you need to become your own boss and then you need to start something of your own.
Right.
Because those, over a period of time, even dream keeps on changing.
Correct.
You need to achieve something And then we see that no, now this much period is left with us, to achieve those goals, because age, everything matters,
Yes,
so
yes.
that could be a reason with him.
Okay. And how did you all start? I mean, why did you all get into the business that you do? Tell us a little more about your business.
See, maybe my passion for travel and driving.
Right.
See, transportation business is a male-dominated business.
It is.
It's not that easy. It's kind of a stereotype which a woman needs to break actually. And with the growing, women entrepreneurship is a proliferating CSR initiative across the globe, and kind of a support I'm getting from the corporate clients. I'm really grateful and thankful for those opportunities.
Okay.
So, and there is a lot of automation and technical things, going on in this transportation business, which is evolving and giving kind of career opportunities for everyone. So that could be that is a reason, why I chose, transportation.
Okay. You talked about your love for speed. You've talked about your love for automation. Now, in your business, how does Vega differentiate from other people also in the car business?
See, the first thing is what I say is because I don't find any female entrepreneurs
Correct.
coming into this business. Right. And because of this, when female comes, the first thing comes to our mind is safety actually.
Yes.
So there are so many things happening. In news we keep on reading and watching videos.
Rekha, I'll digress a bit from here. My business is pageants. And, when we are looking or we are auditioning women for our pageants, which are Mrs. Maharashtra and Mrs. India, both my wife and me come across at least 70% of people who use the line you just used. We are with you because it's safe. And I think for a woman, that's paramount. It is safety in terms of your colleagues, in terms of your environment, may not be that big a deal with guys, but with women, with ladies, it's a really big part of, and I'm very happy that you articulated this, because ladies today have got into virtually all professions, and you've broken this myth now that, cars are solely a...
And till the time we don't give the assurity to the woman, to the female, that you are safely going to travel to your destination, to your office, and from office your commute is going to be very safe.
Right.
So they will not come out,
Correct,
So
correct.
once that assurity comes from us as a transporter or from the corporate clients, it becomes easy for them to take a decision.
So let me ask you another question. How do you ensure this? Do you all have female drivers, or how do you ensure this safety
We
factor?
are in the process of hiring female drivers. Trainings is being given to the female drivers as well. And there are, certain protocols. If it is a first pickup of a female or last pickup or last drop of the female employee, we have our escorts, going through, and then the GPRS system is there.
Correct.
Panic buttons are there. So and then we give the training to our drivers, as
Right.
well as we also conduct training to the employees as well, that the female employee should not sit on the front seat.
Right.
They should not talk to the
Ideally,
drivers.
they should not be
Yeah,
taught last.
exactly. So yeah.
Now this, you also, what in effect you're saying is you also sensitize your drivers into the needs of a woman, so that they can take steps to ensure that, certain protocols are in place.
Yeah.
What are the tough parts of your business? The unsavory parts.
See, the thing is that when it comes to transportation or travel, the main setbacks, maybe sometimes the traffic which we have to cross, if say it is a 1 hour, say for example, from one place to, from your home to, you have to travel to office,
Right.
So that commute may take 1 hour, but because of the arising traffic across, India, especially the cities in Bangalore, Pune, Mumbai.
Yeah, the traffic is killing. Absolutely. Yeah.
So that is a main, sometimes, because, and one more thing, transport business, we cannot give 100%, but we always assure that 99% we are in, the employees are in the office by 99%. So 1% here and then
Yes. And Rekha, sadly, people are very critical. How do you handle criticism?
See, criticism, it's like I feel कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना.
Yes.
So,
Sadly, that's a fact of life. Yeah.
yeah. So in Bhagavad Gita also, Lord Krishna says one should not be bothered about the criticism, and you have to stand steadfast irrespective of the criticism or praises you get from the people. So even I believe, I mean, let whatever they want to say it, because it is your life, it is your struggle, it is your hurdle, it's your obstacle. You have to overcome it and you have to go ahead. So, and as I said, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम
Yes.
है कहना, छोड़ो बेकार की बातों में. Don't waste time now.
No, and as I've discovered, criticism can be destructive, where you just put the person down. Conversely, it can also be constructive, where you add value to lift the person or the business up. And I think as a society, if more of us get into constructive criticism, many more of us could be uplifted and have real value added to our businesses.
So say, but I'll tell you, the word criticism itself says you are criticizing something.
Right.
So personally, I believe it's kind of a, it throws a negativity, So why every time you can tell them that you could have done this in a better way. There are different ways to tell the people how you should do it. But directly criticism, I mean, personally, I don't like.
I think the word criticism should be changed to outlook. Then what's your outlook? Yeah, instead of being critical, you can maybe change it to outlook. Rekha, if you were to look on your life and choose a particular phase, and I'm sure your business suffered also during COVID, like every other business did. But if you were to pick a particular phase, is there one phase in your business life that stands out from the rest?
Yeah. So we'll take example of COVID actually. So during COVID, especially corporate transportation or corporate catering or the business related to corporate world where the people were giving services. So the corporate world was totally shut. People were working from home, and for example, even now, I mean, it's totally on hybrid mode.
Correct.
People are not commuting to office. It's like 2 days they are working from home, and then rest of the 3 days they are working from office.
By the way, do you think that increases productivity, this work from home?
No, I personally don't think so, because
Because there are
even
always
you need
diverging
a
points
space.
of view.
Exactly, family is there.
Absolutely.
When in office when you are working, you're totally focused, and you know that no one is there to bother you or.
No, you're also monitored. You're also monitored in an office, which you perhaps this self-monitoring. If you're an extreme professional, is fine, but otherwise you need to be monitored at some stage.
Exactly. And then the grooming also, the meetings, it enhances it. But, when you talk with the people, your colleagues, your management teams, it's like grooming of your career,
Right.
But then when you are at home 24/7, you're working from home, it's like the whistle of a cooker, and then your
Yes.
grandmother is calling you.
Well, the whistle of a cooker is much better than the whistle of a male employee. So there's a plus there. No, but I get what you're saying, Rekha, because after a certain point in time, the supreme individual can be self-motivated, but sadly most of us are not. I mean, we need external forces, and this reporting to a boss, in fact, also the fact that you dress up to go to work, it kind of enhances your overall look and overall appeal and overall thought process. Is your business local or national?
So it's pan India. It's not only in Pune. We exist in across pan. I have a clients whom we provide services across pan India. So in Hyderabad, in Ahmedabad, in Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore. So
Wow. So
we
your
are spread
presence
across.
it's spread everywhere. Wonderful. Lastly, as we come to a close of what has really been a fantastic conversation,
It was.
what is your message to corporates specifically about Vega?
See, being a female entrepreneur, safety comes first to my mind, and it's not only female safety, but safety of all the employees as a whole. When I talk about the female safety, I totally believe, because I have seen, I'm not talking about my other competitors, but then I have seen, so I want to prioritize the safety of the female, to give the training to the employees as well, how to board the car, while going to the office and while coming back. And secondly, the safety of employees as a whole. A recent one incident happened in Pune, Hinjewadi phase 2, wherein driver, he had some grudges with 2 3 employees, and then initially it was said that it was due to the short circuit that TT caught the fire. But then actually after the investigation got to know that he did it deliberately,
Yes,
and
yes,
4
yes.
lives were being lost in that accident, and then 6 to 7 people were injured, so
Yes.
it's
So what your point is that if you sensitize people, and that is actually
so
what
see,
Vega
it's
does,
not
isn't
only,
it?
how it happens is many a times, corporates or people, they say it's a mistake of a driver. How it should be, it should be both the ways. Training should not only be given to the driver, but you should also give to the employees. After all, they are drivers, and how to talk with them, we need to match the wavelength.
What to
of-
talk in front of them.
Exactly.
Right.
And the things, they should go to their admin or their management, and then it should come to our management, because it's very difficult, to train or to talk to drivers. So directly they should not indulge
Yes.
in all these things, so
Well, I think this is a very, very important point, Rekha, and I'm grateful to you for bringing this up, because you see, employees sometimes, especially employees of a same organization, when traveling in a car, they tend to talk office politics, and sometimes they're very dismissive. Now, a driver who's only hearing snatches of a conversation can feel they are being dismissive of him, and that can kind of rile him up at times. So it's a very good point that you've made. It's not only drivers that need, but even employees and occupants of that said vehicle. I want to thank you for being on Candid with Carl and sharing with us everything about the drive, the car, and the driver. Thank you very much. Rekha, as we come to the close of this fascinating session, back in 2020, I authored a book, Beginning is Everything, which is specifically about how a powerful introduction allows you to enhance your life. I'd like to gift it to you, an autographed copy, with a little message that may this be the beginning of everything great in life.
thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Karl.
Cheers.
Thank you.